The challenge now facing service providers, including the network of Callan services, is the implementation of the National Disability Policy.
In regard to the inclusive education policy, I can comment because this is part of what we'll need to implement through the National Disability Policy. It's a very enlightened policy and a very positive policy. It's simply a challenge for all of us, government and non-government, to translate that into every school in the country. The policy's wonderful and fantastic. It's just the implementation we're all challenged with about how to find the best ways to do that.
The network of Callan serves as 18 special education centres around the country, educating the deaf and the blind. Director of the network, Brother Kevin Ryan, said the National Disability Policy is a positive development in this area.
The the legislative framework in the country to make sure it complies with the Convention of the Rights of Persons with Disability.
It clearly sets the legal framework to support the implementation of the UN Convention on Rights of People Living with Disability. It also sets the pace in support of new legislation and reviewing of existing legislations, an area that has been lacking.
Enough to say persons with disability have rights, but what do they look like in action, and what will it require of the rest of us to ensure those rights are respected? So that's a great action.
He said the policy also addresses service providers and outlines government's financial support towards persons living with disability. The National Disability Policy has a limited number of aspects, which is an advantage because it has a better chance of success. While the challenge remains with the implementation part of it, there is also a need for the strengthening of the advisory group to give clear directions to the government.
I think that it's good that there are a limited number of actions outlined in the policy, and that makes it much more achievable and reviewable on an annual basis.
The National Disability Policy was launched yesterday in Port Moresby by Prime Minister Peter O'Neill. Michelle Amba, National MTV News.